Low key, niggas hating cause they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat.
Ain't get a roll on no weed, ain't get a roll no switches. I was locked up on Christmas, ain't get to see my niggas, ain't get to hold my mama, couldn't even give her no kisses. Can't even post on my news board, cause these pussy niggas be snitching. Everybody acting suspicious, might probably say that I'm tripping. When I'm all alone in my jail cell, I tend to get in my feelings, and all I smoke is that loud. Don't pass me no midget, and I'ma smoke all of my pain away, cause that's the only thing that gon' heal it. I don't understand you women, just gon' go around pretending as if they really fuck with me. So I love them all from a distance, cause the same bitch say she down to ride, be the main one who trickin'. Got my liver with promethazine, cause every time I wake up in the morning I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s, and all these pussy niggas hating, trying to knock me off my grind. But I can't let them do it, I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. 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 Yellow tape around his body, it's a fucking homicide. His face is on a t-shirt and his family's traumatized. I didn't even mean to shoot him, he just caught me by surprise. I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back and shot him twice. His body dropped down to the floor and he had tears drop from his eyes. He grabbed me by my hands and said he was afraid to die. I told him it's too late, my friend, it's time to say goodbye. And he died inside my arms, blood all on my shirt. Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s, and all these pussy niggas hating, trying to knock me off my grind. But I can't let them do it, I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. 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 Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s. And all these pussy niggas hating, trying to knock me.
You see me, I eat, sleep, shit, and talk rap. You seen that 98 Mercedes on TV, I bought that. I had some felony charges, I fought that. Been sent to no return, but still was bought back. Fella threw some slangs at me, water, I caught that. I punished them little bitches before they can call that. Now I'm looking for their family and pile up the wall back. If I ain't a hot boy, then what do you call it? Fella disrespect me, I'ma be in all black. Coming by some fellas about killing and all that. Me, Corey, and Mercy getting dunked on. Ride top down, so we let the trucks pause. In a Jeep, riding 4 deep, I booted up up at these fellas claiming they know me. Huh? Bitch, what? I'll bust your ass up. Don't even go that road cause I'm ready to war. So I heard about the money, that's some nice change. For the right price, I'll bust the right range. Hard as a fella try, I can do the right thing. Only God knows what the future might bring. Fella might be shy, fella might be traveling, fella might survive if he buy that Rifflin. With something that'll stop a fella from playing. Something like a chopper or a grenade in his hand. Hey, fella don't play no games no more. Fella bust your head if your bang is home. Attitude adjustments do y'all need? Don't call enforcements, fella call me. I bet ya I get them fellas off your block. I bet ya I show them fellas this boy hot. This boy hot. Oh, alright, stop, cause I done had enough. When it comes to my pockets, I'm ready to bust. Baby, let me get the keys to the Rover truck. Man, let me get this beef shit over, bruh. Ain't no bitches here, I'm from the know ya, bruh. Bust your beef's head, cause it was told to us. How I'ma be running with these killers and backing down. How I'ma look in front of my people like a clown. The G code, what we live by, and we die by. The book is what we will never abide by. Fellas drive by, getting loose, beefing with each other like a checkerboard and use up in Compton. Or the Watts fella up in New York and keep them open. Watch fella, for your play-by hit or retaliation, or a fine young black female stallion. Give me the keys to your car, your medallion. You fall away from your home, use a LE. She got a coochie so tight and clean, with a grip so mean it'll snap your pain. That kitty don't purr, it bites and it screams. Got me sweating through sheets and seeing my dreams. It's wetter than a creek in a hurricane, hotter than a stovetop cooking propane. Every time she clenches, I about go insane. She'll drain my soul through my goddamn vein. Her pussy brings life, it rewires my brain like touching a socket in the pouring rain. It grips, it pulls, it sucks me dry. Got me cussing, praying, damn near cry. Like a lasso rope on a rodeo steer. Once it locks on, I ain't getting clear. It shocks my heart, it fries my brain like moonshine burning through my veins. That coochie got power I can't explain, like touching a socket in the pouring rain. She rides me hard like a buck and steer. Neighbors pound the walls, but I can't hear. Boots fly off and my hat hits the floor. When that grip locks tight, I come begging for more. She don't need lube, don't need foreplay. That coochie got torque like a Chevrolet. Bites down hard like a pit bull's teeth. Got me seeing stars and I can't find relief. It grips, it pulls, it sucks me dry. Got me cussing, praying, damn near cry. Like a lasso rope on a rodeo steer. Once it locks on, I ain't getting clear. It shocks my heart, it fries my brain like moonshine burning through my veins. That coochie got power I can't explain, like touching a socket in the pouring rain. Doctor said, son, you're losing weight. That girl's coochie got you chewed up, bait. I said, Doc, I'll die with a smile on my face, cause that grip's God's gift to the human race. It grips, it pulls, it sucks me dry. Got me shouting Jesus to the sky like a lasso rope on a rodeo steer. Once it grabs hold, I'm stuck right here. It shocks my heart, it fries my brain like moonshine burning through my veins. That coochie got power I can't explain, like touching a socket in the pouring rain.
Good evening, people. Good evening. Sorry I was late. The World Series went into extra innings. It was exciting. You got to feel sorry for the Blue Jays, but the Dodgers, they pulled it off. Some good shit. It's good shit. All right. Yeah, I see the title. This lady here was at school full of the cocaine and she had some on her. I think she was selling the drugs to the elementary school kids, but I can't prove that. But I think she was. But let's hear whatever this old lady's name is and what the hell went on.
No, please help me. No, I haven't used it at school.
Where's her stuff?
She has cocaine in the building right now.
A substitute teacher accused of bringing cocaine into her middle school classroom and even using it right before class. 42-year-old Melissa Martin is now out of a job and facing felony charges. And police say it wasn't a coworker or administrator who caught her, it was one of her own students. For the first time, we're seeing exactly what happened inside that Vermont school, captured on body cam. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Before we get into this episode of On the Case, one of the most best three insurers off has left a completely busted at school, and it might. This is a story that has left a community in Vermont, and it might leave you in complete shock because it's about a substitute teacher allegedly busted at school with cocaine. And the body camera footage from that day shows officers walking into a scene that is tense, chaotic, and completely unexpected.
Please help me. No, I haven't used it at school.
Help me.
Where's her stuff?
She has cocaine in the building
She
right
got
now.
some bad dope.
We're going.
Well, there's no way she didn't do it here.
Yeah.
That's on
No.
immediately.
I don't want to take possession of it. I want you to take possession of
all halls, upstairs and downstairs. I repeat, clear all the halls, upstairs and downstairs.
Where is her stuff? Is it in the classroom? Is she a teacher here?
She walked like a president.
So let's set the scene. It's the morning of October 1st, 2025 at the Berrytown Middle and Elementary School in Vermont. The school resource officer there is just doing his rounds in the hallway when a school employee frantically waves him down, telling him there is a substitute teacher inside who they believe is high on cocaine. Now, as you just saw, the moment the officer walks in, he's stepping into a perfect storm. You have the teacher, Melissa Martin.
What made them choose cocaine out of all drugs? What made them say, hey, she high on cocaine?
Clearly in some kind of medical distress, the school nurse trying to check her vitals, and the principal trying to explain an unbelievable situation that there's cocaine in the building right now in this teacher's pocket.
We're gonna come this way. We're gonna come this way so that doesn't fall on you.
I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad person.
No, you're not a bad person. You made an unfortunate choice. You're not a bad person.
I'm such a
Big back, big
Oh my
back.
God. My life. Oh my God.
So we've got 137. I'm gonna write that down for you. Oxygen is 98%. I'm sorry, what was that? 98% oxygen.
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I know. I'm so, oh my God, my family is gonna be so
So, did she show up with?
What have
Hi,
I
Ted.
done? What have I done? Oh my God.
Are the kids in?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Let them get into the cafeteria and then we are going into clear the halls for the entire school. Okay, I don't know if the ambulance
This
is
girl
there.
act like she got a radioactive substance.
I'm already on it. Y'all say.
This is a little cocaine. What the fuck y'all clearing the hall for?
Oh
I don't know.
God.
Did
Oh
they?
my
Did you
God.
guys already
No,
send
I'm
one?
gonna tell you why. It's your privacy. So that the ambulance can come and make sure that you're okay, it's your privacy.
She's saying she doesn't need one right now, but
I want to go home. Oh my God.
send them anyways, and she can just decline them when they get here.
Like I have some.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
You leave your coat here at school.
Jacket.
And did you use
And my
it?
husband.
Are you guys okay? Did you use it at
No,
let's
please
go.
help me. No, I haven't used it at school.
Where's her
She
stuff?
lied.
She has cocaine in the building right now.
That's what I was curious about.
We're going.
Well,
it's not her not
yeah, there's
You
no way
got
she
it
didn't
right
do it.
now.
It sets on
No.
immediately.
I don't want to take possession of it. I want you to take possession.
Them folk act like it's a brick of coke in that motherfucker.
The officer moves down the hallway to the room where Martin was teaching. On the desk and chair, her jacket and backpack sit unattended. The alleged cocaine inside still a threat. The classroom is empty. No students, no supervising adult, but the danger is immediate.
Where is her stuff? Is it in the classroom?
Yeah, they're going outside.
Is she a teacher here? Oh.
Yeah. Yep, you can run it. Run it out, Rob. Who is she? Oh my God. Erica to Kim. Thinking she was in as well, but Louise is there.
Yeah.
I think the principal is overreacting a tad bit. But it is the elementary school, so.
I don't know if it's her stuff or not. She said it's in her jacket. That's a jacket. I'm not gonna touch it.
575, 573. You want to slide over here? Is this 100%
I'm
the right
not,
room?
it might not be.
I don't know.
Let me call.
I can have the canine hold it.
How you
Snap.
telling but you don't know? You niggas calling the K9 unit in.
Okay, Rob, we're in the room. Okay, thank you.
Right,
Yeah, that's,
right, Rob.
that's 100% her stuff.
Hey, you want to slide over to the school and bring the code in? Teacher brought cocaine to school and is high right now. Yeah, I probably need to do a sniff on her stuff to take it. Yeah, do you know where Mr. Carrier's classroom is? It's in second floor, back corner by the playground. I can get you a number. It's the math room.
Erica and Ted?
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
yeah,
just
it's
making sure you need to call to
281.
put us on CRT.
These folks are called a K9 unit in.
It's a chick, and she's like visibly high. Like, she's in Erica Pearson's office, like tweaking right now. I'm in the classroom where supposedly she had the coke. I mean, she has it here. She didn't show up high. Like, she is like tweaking right now. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
So that is her bag, that is her coat.
Okay. We'll want a dog on it, and the dog's
Okay.
probably gonna hit. And we'll just take it.
Do you,
Or one of us will just ask if we can search it. But
she told me it's in here.
yeah, I'm
That's
sure.
enough for me to do it, right? Because I'm school?
I don't know about your policies, but legal standard. I mean, we'll probably charge her with something if.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she has something. If she has something, we'll probably charge her. So we'll just wait until we ever see her with a dog and run the dog around it. I mean, I can also go ask her if she'll let
So
us
why you
search,
putting
but
gloves on now then if you waiting for the dog to come? You just gonna be
we
prepared
might as
for
well run a
20
dog around
minutes?
it though, just to make sure
Yeah.
it's actually hers. And the dog will hit on it if there was something in there. So
Officers continue piecing together this scene. They verify Martin's name, confirm where she lives, and coordinate with
Tatted
school
up.
staff about her medical treatment. At the same time, the officer calls in a canine dog to sniff out the items.
what's her name?
Melissa Martin, and I believe she lives in
Melissa
Orange County
Teddy.
somewhere,
Okay.
but I can get that information for you.
Something tells me she's not going to be substituting here again.
No.
Probably not anywhere. Yeah.
Am I allowed to be on that phone?
Probably, yeah. I would think so.
I just need to get it. This is the nurse. I
Yeah.
asked with the nurse's information
Yeah, no,
for,
totally
the,
fine.
for the ambulance. I just want to make sure to give it back to them.
Yep.
Okay.
And are the kids expecting to
The
come in here
kids are
soon?
not coming. Well, we locked everything
Oh,
down.
true. Yeah.
But I'm gonna. I don't think you guys will be done in 20 minutes, probably not in this room.
We probably will be.
Okay.
Yeah, Leo will probably be here in like 5 or 10, and then we'll be done a
If we
couple
need
minutes
to,
after
move
that.
this room to the library.
Okay, perfect.
The situation intensifies as officers describe Martin's behavior to the state's attorney and plan their next steps.
Hey, it's Officer Morris from the town, just looking to run something by one of the essays.
They know they could have cooked this
Hey,
shit
Zach,
out.
it's Thatcher. How are you? Doing well. Calling with kind of an interesting one here. I assume there's some sort of criminal charge. My assumption would be reckless endangerment. We're at the school right now dealing with a teacher who brought and used cocaine at the school. She was a substitute teacher today, and she is like visibly high on a stimulant right now, like completely tweaking out. And she said that she brought and used cocaine here. We haven't actually found paraphernalia or anything yet. We're waiting for Leo to show up with his dog, and we're going to run on her stuff and see where we go from there. I mean, obviously, if we find cocaine, we got criminal charges. But if we don't find anything, if we just find
definitely got
paraphernalia,
one of
just
them
based on the fact that she's
East accents.
visibly high and said she brought cocaine and used cocaine, is that enough? Or? Oh, yeah. I mean, cocaine sets in and like instantly. So it's not like she didn't use it here. She has said she used it at the school, yeah. I haven't interviewed her yet because she's dealing with nurses here right now. But she told the nurses that she'd used it here. And it seems like she's pretty forthcoming. Because I saw her briefly, but she's like absolutely tweaking.
Tweaking. He done said tweaking like 37 times.
From my understanding, it was in the building, and she said it's in her jacket pocket, which makes me think the drugs are left in the building. My thought is just leaving any drugs around children is reckless endangerment, but yeah.
This nigga just pacing and shit. Girlfriend, sit your ass down.
Maybe. I'm not the state's attorney here, but I think you're probably right there. I'm pretty sure that is a law. It's just one of those things that never happens, so you don't know it off the top of your head.
This nigga here is getting on my nerves walking back and forth.
Yeah, I was more
And he
curious.
still
I mean,
got
I'm not
the
sure how
damn
much she brought. I
gloves
can't
on.
imagine she didn't use what she had. So I fully suspect at most we're going to find paraphernalia. And it's not like it's a DUI, so we can bring her up there for an evidentiary draw. So I wasn't sure if it reaches that level then or not. That's ridiculous.
He reaching.
Well, I mean, just the possession is criminal in itself, but it's not a DUI, so how does that work when it's not a DUI, though? I mean, I can always see if she consents to an evidentiary draw, but I was at the school and one of the teachers came down and told me to head upstairs. They were calling us anyways, but the school, like the principal's office, called us because I don't know how it came about yet that it became known that she was high, but like she is like absolutely tweaking. It wouldn't take a DRE to realize she's high. I mean, her heartbeat was also like 130, which is another indication. Because I overheard the nurses saying that too. Okay. Yeah, middle and elementary. Yeah. Yeah. I'm almost certain. So it's lunchtime here right now, so all the kids are out to recess. And frankly, cocaine, as I said, sets on almost immediately. The fact that it's recess time, the kids went outside, and that's when I get called. As I said, I haven't interviewed her yet because she's with the nurses right now and they're checking her out. And I'm in the classroom with their stuff because we don't want any kids coming in here and being around the drugs. But yeah, I'm almost certain she used the drugs in the school, and if that's the case, then they were in here around children. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Leo's working right now, so he's on his way here with the dog right now. Because she's with the nurses, we're just going to run the dog around it, and if the dog hits on it, we're going to grab it all, and then we'll see if she consents to it. Because we're on two opposite ends of the building. Oh, yeah, the dog should hit.
They run the dog, it hits. Now officers are deciding whether to pull the jacket and backpack, get consent to search, or go for a warrant. The audio you're about to hear catches officers trying to piece together what happened, where Martin says she allegedly used the cocaine, how much, and just how close it came to happening inside the school.
What'd you say?
Train drugs in your report.
Jesus, let go. Have some manners.
She loves to
Do you want to pull the backpack though, see if she hits on the coat too? She had said it's in the coat.
She told us
Dakota.
it's in the coat pocket.
That's right in the same spot. I mean,
I think just based on her saying it's in the coat.
The odor's there anyway.
Okay, we'll just see all of her stuff. She'll probably consent to it, but the essays, yeah, the essays want us to Mirandize her too.
No.
Did she tell you guys where she used it for the car and the building?
She ended up telling us, I mean,
Nope.
she tried to tell she told the EMTs again that she used it this morning, and he was like,
There's no way.
he was like, no, when? And she just said, I don't know. And then he said, how much? She said, I don't know. But she said, I just kept putting it on my tongue. So she was rubbing it in the gums and her tongue.
Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't like in a bathroom somewhere and then in the trash.
Or right here. She's just,
Yeah.
yeah, there's the jug there.
Okay.
Now, will you go up to the hospital?
Is she going up to the hospital?
They just loaded her in there.
Yeah, we'll go up there then. We'll try to interview her up there. And
Comments about
okay, we'll see if we can just get consent to search these things up there, and if not, we'll have to apply for a search warrant to search it. Now, is that her backpack there, or is that a student?
No, that's an emergency student backpack.
Okay, perfect.
That's her cup. Can't really.
Now, do you know what she drives for a vehicle? Or
I have no idea.
my dispatcher can figure that out. Is she from? She's from Vermont.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might as well run around the car too and yank the car if need be. That's what the SA said to do.
You already talked to them?
Yeah.
You can push me through a K9 narcotics card and show positive alert.
Actually, I'm amazed the radio worked that well in here.
Alice is the there.
You could also locate Melissa Martin in Valcor, and she should have some ties to this area, and see what she has for registered vehicles.
She's a doctor.
She is. Okay.
You did a good job. Thank you. Pretty girl. Thank you. Thank you for coming
Yeah.
so
No,
fast.
yeah. I was already here. I was standing downstairs.
Oh, were you seriously?
Yeah.
I did get a hold of Buzz.
Oh,
I called him too.
Oh, okay. I
Do you
didn't.
want me to send somebody? I think we're all set. I just want to let you know. Lakota, out.
Hey, frankly, we'll end up charging her if she has something. So.
No.
Probably with reckless endangerment. Because she shouldn't be bringing around kids no matter what. 'Cause if she's at a classroom,
You
kid
gonna
comes
walk
in and
Dakota?
finds.
You gonna go outside?
Yeah. Nope. Probably bring her out after.
Hopefully never in any school again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of unbelievable that somebody
Yeah, I guess so.
have that nerve. But
And then the officer learned something shocking. It wasn't another teacher or staff member who first noticed Martin's behavior. It was a student who reported she appeared high.
oh, the students did? How did it come into you
She's
guys?
quick with it. She's always.
Laura, student
She
sports
knows when
said,
she's working. It's
and
like
something was just reported,
It's like,
No,
when
that
go.
I was face to face with Melissa, and I'm like, something's off, and I got Erica.
And then I looked at her and said, what did you
No.
think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So the students, but they weren't already out to recess at that
Eighth
point?
grade.
No, an 8th grade student
No.
on his way stopped in.
No.
He was getting ready, they were getting ready to go, and he literally said she's high. But he also comes from a background in which he would be able to identify that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's wild.
isn't it?
And then when I saw her, it was
Oh,
obviously,
it's completely obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
and I knew that it wasn't. Actually, I kind of thought maybe she had taken meth, to be honest with you, but.
Yeah. Meth and coke are pretty similar, both stimulants.
No.
So,
Enough.
all right.
She's
Well,
like,
thank
All
you
right, yeah,
guys.
well, we'll head up to the hospital and maybe with her. And, yeah.
Thank you. We will probably wait till you guys get outside before we lift the clear the hall so that you guys can walk
Okay.
through.
Yeah. Thank you. Will you park up front?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll head up to the hospital, interview her, and see if I can get consent.
No. See if what? We'll see.
I think I'll have to bring her stuff into the hospital to get consent. Unfortunately, she's got to be present, but it's a big, kind of annoying that you don't want it. But because the essay basically said if you can show that she did it in the building, charge of reckless endangerment. Yeah. Just as the fact that a kid gets
Oh,
in.
No, but we need you now.
Can
Yeah, thank you.
we get you really
All
quick?
right, you're out front, Leo. All right, I'm over at the edge, so.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll
Heading off campus now.
we'll probably run the dog around her car too. We just gotta figure out what her car is. Yeah.
But are you heading out now?
Yeah, I'm heading straight out the side door.
Clear the halls in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, perfect, thank you.
With the classroom cleared and the evidence located, officers start preparing for the next step, talking to Melissa Martin herself. They head to the hospital where she's been brought in for evaluation, and what happens next, frankly, it's hard to watch. Body cam video captures Martin in clear distress as doctors and officers try to figure out exactly what she took and when.
Which room is the teacher in who's brought in that's high? The teacher who's high. B0?
Zero.
Thank you. It's over here, isn't it?
Oh, great. No, it's around the corner.
Oh, awesome.
There you go.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You got it.
Melissa, other than cocaine, have you used any other substances? Are you snorting or injecting?
Snorted. It's on my tongue.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I fighting. And he's like a narcissist. And I stayed up all night looking for an apartment. And
Do you drink alcohol?
Them folk put some fentanyl in her cocaine.
Every day. Nice.
No. But you never tried it ever. So it's just comes. We're I'm like, yes. I can't take it. He's I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to let everybody down. I'm just a disappointment.
What the fuck? Did she shoot that shit up?
I can't look at my parents. I can't look at anybody. I'm so ashamed. I knew. I just don't want to wake up. I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Melissa, can I get you anything to eat or drink right now? Like some water or tea right now? No? Okay. We're gonna need you to change into scrubs, so I'll be right back with some scrubs, okay?
Yeah.
You sure you're not thirsty at all?
Once at the hospital, the officer begins the formal part of the investigation. Martin is read her rights and questioned about what happened that morning. She maintains she never used cocaine on school grounds, but the officer, drawing on his experience and the timing of her visible impairment, presses her on the details, challenging her story and confronting the evidence head on.
So Melissa, I'm here for our aspect of this and our investigation into this, obviously. So I do have a couple of questions for you based on that. First, State's Attorney's Office wants me to read something to you, though. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk with a lawyer and to have one present with you during questioning. You have the right to a lawyer to be present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at public expense. If you wish in Vermont, that's called a public defender. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop questioning at any time. Do you understand those rights? Okay. Do you have a vehicle at the school right now? Okay, what is that for a vehicle?
A silver Nissan Rogue.
What's the registration on it, do you know?
Like my plate number?
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
Is it like a Vermont registration, out-of-state registration, temporary
it's a
registration? Green plate?
It's a green plate.
Okay. 575, 573. Yeah, the radio's not gonna work in here. Oh, alright. So, what exactly happened today? Will you tell me?
See my finger and Daddy and codeine to hang awake. Right in the night, look for an apartment.
So I overheard you talking with a doctor. You said you were fighting with your boyfriend and up all night last night. So you were trying to stay awake today at school. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm tired.
Okay. And when at school and where in the school were you using the cocaine?
I didn't use it at the school,
Uh-huh.
in the school.
So, Melissa, I'm going to be honest with
I
you.
had it in my pocket, in my jacket.
Well, your jacket was in the school.
Right.
So,
I
Melissa,
wore my jacket into the school, but I didn't do any at school.
so there's still some in your jacket pocket?
It's, yeah.
Well, she just a flicking her feet
So,
and shit.
Melissa, I've been in
He
law
popping this
enforcement for a little
damn
while,
pen,
and I've
getting
been
on
around
my
people who use drugs
nerves.
for a while. I know cocaine
Flicking
hits you
that
pretty
damn
quickly,
pen.
and I know it usually wears off in a couple hours. It was around 11 o'clock when this happened. So if you showed up today at 8 o'clock, which is the normal start time for the school, you wouldn't be visibly high right now if you hadn't used at the school.
I swear to God, I
So
did not use at the school.
my assumption is the kids went out for a recess and lunch, and that's when it would have happened. Is that true?
You go put some fentanyl in her goddamn cocaine.
No, they had the 8th grade came in, and one of the boys said, Miss Melissa's high, or left it. No, a girl came back into the room and she goes,
Why are you twitching your feet like that? Can you try to stop doing that?
Thank you. I'm like, you said what in the
That's
fuck
fine.
is she
That's fine.
just moving?
my legs. I also
She
have
just
really
a
bad
flip-flopper.
anxiety.
Okay.
And my legs go all the time.
Despite her
Nigga, why you
insistence
flicking at
that
pins?
she hadn't used at school, officers search her jacket and backpack after a canine hits on both, pressing her about the student who first raised the alarm.
So you said one of the 8th graders came into the room, or did they see you out in the hallway?
Yeah, I had that class. I was teaching that class. And one of the girls that was in the class came back into the classroom and she's like, so-and-so, the student's name, she said he's a little snitch. And I said, what are we talking about? And she goes,
She didn't call the 8th grader a snitch. What the fuck? Yeah, she had. She said he's a little snitch.
saying that you're high. And I was like, what? And I'm guessing it's probably saying it because my feet and my legs go.
You little snitch.
I can't stop it. It does it when I'm not on anything.
Okay.
I can't.
So what time would you say you used cocaine this morning?
I used it before I got to school.
Before you got to school?
Yeah.
Okay, like out in the car, out at home, where'd you use it?
No, like,
I usually in the cafeteria. She got had in the teacher's lounge.
Before I got to school.
Is there any in your car?
No.
So you used it in your car and then you brought what you had left into the school?
Well, because I had it in my jacket pocket.
Okay.
And I had my jacket on, and I wore my jacket into the school, and
Okay.
I mean, I didn't use any, I swear to God, at the school.
Okay. Who's your car registered to?
I did not have any cocaine at school, I promise you. It just kicked in 3 hours later.
Where'd you get the cocaine from?
She was in the teacher's lounge, y'all.
You found it. Where'd you find it?
She found the cocaine?
I don't want to discuss it. I'd like to.
Hey man, this lady is full of shit. Where did you get the cocaine from? I found it, and you just decided to trust it. That's why your ass is tripping like you is now. She probably did find the cocaine. The fuck? Stupid ass. I found it.
Not talk anymore.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So you don't have to talk other than answering this question. Frankly, you don't have to answer it. We're going to proceed regardless. So where we're at right now is we brought a canine into that classroom. We ran the canine around your stuff. The canine hit on both your backpack and your jacket. So you can either consent to us searching your jacket and your backpack, or what's going to happen is we're going to take it back to the police department. We're going to write a search warrant, and a judge will make a determination as to whether or not to grant that search warrant for the backpack and the jacket.
You can search my backpack. There's nothing in it.
Okay, and can I search the jacket too? Okay.
He better not still have them gloves on from earlier.
Who's your boyfriend that you were arguing with last night?
What?
I said, who's your boyfriend that you were arguing with last night?
No, my ex-husband.
Oh.
Yeah, how much you arguing her boyfriend?
So I assume in this dime bag is the cocaine?
So what then?
The dime bag?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay.
Hi, Melissa.
Is it just a gram?
Hi.
Like 100 piece? Like 100 piece?
$100 for a Grammy. Shit. Times
No needles in this bag, is there?
No.
Okay.
You're still gonna be a little bit.
You guys can go ahead. No, you guys are more important than I am.
am. Change though.
Oh,
We can wait until you're.
I'll be done here in just.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Will you just let one of us know when you leave so
Yeah,
that we can?
yeah, probably 3-4 minutes.
We'll just have to have you change into hospital scrubs and all for our safety protocol. Okay, Melissa. Thank you.
As the interview goes on, the question turned to how long she's been teaching, what she had in her bag, even the pills in her glasses
I was
case.
watching
And
the
then
World
the conversation
Series, can't handle
shifts
the
from a
truth.
criminal investigation to a moment of crisis.
How long have you been doing substitute teaching for?
I was going like 15 minutes
That's
late.
quite a while. What are the pills in your glasses case?
Can you show them to me?
One's just a gold unmarked pill.
Oh, those are like they were off the Amazon. Or like to help you stay
Like, I
awake.
was saying, man, goddamn. But I had maxed out long time ago at $70 a gram. My eyes lit up when you niggas just said $100 a gram.
I believe you. You've been honest with me.
I started thinking about some shit.
So you said there's nothing in your car. Okay, because we're gonna run a canine around that car as well. And if I'm not a canine guy, but I have heard that canines will alert the other narcotics if there's been narcotics in the car and there aren't anymore. If that's the case, like for example, if you had cocaine in there this morning, the odor of that cocaine will linger in the car for far longer than a couple hours. So I do find it likely that a canine.
In my car, but like I just told you.
Yeah, just based on the fact that it was in there this morning. So, based on such, if that's the case and the dog would alert on that vehicle, we'd be asking for consent to search that vehicle as well. I presume it's probably locked right now.
No, it definitely went up. Prices went up. That's why he asked her if she had a gram, and she was like, huh? He was like $100 worth.
You want your lunch at all?
Oh my god.
Melissa, I'm just gonna take the cocaine and leave all the other stuff here. The hospital will hold on to it for you.
What are they gonna do to me? What are they gonna happen
So-
to me? I'm so dead.
Melissa.
I don't want to go to jail.
Melissa,
Melissa,
you're here for help. The
That's
hospital's
some
gonna help you.
bad dope.
So, based on
He
the,
is clicking constantly.
I'm sorry.
you're okay.
I just, I can't.
Well, that needs to start this down.
So you're not going to jail right now. You're going to stay here, and I'm going to walk out the door in a couple minutes. So you're here to get help first. You taking care of
They'll
yourself
come
is the
tomorrow,
priority.
ma'am.
Based on your statements to the hospital staff, I have a feeling the hospital is going to ask you, or you might not even have a choice, frankly, based on your to them. They're probably going to want you to get checked out by Washington County Mental Health. Melissa, that's for the best. If you're going through some stuff, you want to get help.
Damn, why is she laughing? That bitch is crazy.
I can't barely look at you.
She a substitute teacher though. If she a substitute, it's a drug charge.
She came in for just a minute, and I'll be out of here in like 2 seconds. She just told me to grab her.
It's a simple drug possession case. She will be all right. Somebody will hire her as an office manager.
I'm sorry. I'm overwhelmed.
Do you guys have any rubber gloves I can toss this on?
I'm overwhelmed.
Oh, I'm blind.
That's okay.
Thank you.
She is really crying.
Melissa, will you spell your first name, first, middle, last name for me?
Try to do some deep breaths, like in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Sorry. Melissa.
Actually, you can just do your middle. I got your first and last name right here.
Ann.
Okay. Actually, it's over here as well. What's a good phone number for you, Melissa?
After going through her belongings and talking through the events at school, the officer moves to wrap things up, explaining the charges and issuing a court citation.
So, Melissa, I'm just going to issue this to you, and then I'm going to get out of here, okay? Is there anyone you want me to contact for you? Just let them... Okay, I wasn't sure if you had, like, family or something you wanted to...
I don't want to be friends.
No, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't want somebody to know you were up here. Because I can do that for you if you need. But so
We can also do it like later in a few hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever. It's up to you when. It's pretty much what we're
And as far as your car goes, the school's probably not going to want to stay there for an extended period of time. Is there somebody I should contact at some point? Like, if, for example, if you stay up here, is there somebody I should contact to pick it up?
I get it though, Tanya, but she a 42-year-old substitute teacher. She ain't making no money doing this shit. She a substitute. Clearly, if she wanted to be a teacher, sometime in the past 42 years, she would have elevated. She good. This is not the end of the road for her.
You're not going to be in a position.
That bitch crazy though. She definitely is nutty.
You should be driving for a couple hours anyways.
But she overreacting.
I'm not all messed up. Like this is anxiety and panic that's coming out. My legs are in panic.
I mean, even so, you shouldn't drive in an overly emotional state either. But you're going to be up here for a little.
I don't know how to. I don't know.
Are you okay if I can grab her an outfit to change into?
Yeah. As I said, I'm leaving right now. So, Melissa, what this is the citation to court right here. It's going to be for next Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, 255 North Main Street in Derry. You're going to be charged with reckless endangerment and cocaine possession. So, at the time of it, you're going to show up.
Reckless endangerment?
Reckless endangerment for bringing drugs into the school is what that is. It's reckless because if a kid gets possession of those drugs, kid could have serious health complications for that. And the drugs were left unattended in the classroom. So that was the reckless nature of it. So if you don't show up at that time and date, there will be a warrant for your arrest. You do understand that? Okay, will you sign acknowledging that you understand that? Okay.
Oh my God. Wait, what date is it?
A week later, Melissa Martin was back in public, this time inside a Washington County courtroom. The 42-year-old former substitute teacher stood before a judge and pleaded not guilty to 2 criminal charges: possession of cocaine and reckless endangerment. That second count tied to the drugs found in an unlocked 8th grade classroom. Martin was released on conditions including that she stay off school property. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime.
Made bun and everything. She just good. Come on, next video. Are you just not gonna play next video? Just this what we're doing? So you're not gonna play?
Subscribe to us on YouTube and
I paused
Spotify.
it.
I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.
All right, this next one is about a famous YouTuber that I didn't know about until it popped off.
He was the friendly, glitter-loving DIY guy millions trusted online.
Some nigga named Mr. Crafty Pants arrested on child porn charges.
YouTube star, a Facebook influencer, a cheerful crafter who seemed harmless. But now, Michael David Booth is facing serious criminal charges. Police say the man known online as Mr. Crafty Pants allegedly shared explicit images of children on social media. And the investigation shows it wasn't just once or twice. As the community is left reeling from the shocking charges against the YouTube star once known for his cheerful DIY videos. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
This music's so dramatic.
If you've ever fallen down that rabbit hole of DIY videos on YouTube, you might have come across someone called Mr. Crafty Pants. He was the friendly, glitter-loving DIY guy teaching you how to make custom t-shirts, cards, and home decor. Half a million subscribers on YouTube, hundreds of thousands more on Facebook and Instagram. But police say behind that cheerful, family-friendly persona was something much darker. Booth was arrested this week in Kentucky, charged with distributing and possessing explicit images of children.
I bet it's gonna be a boys because he just give me zesty vibes.
Detectives say he wasn't just collecting them, he was sharing them over and over on a messaging service. Investigators traced a Kik account spreading child sex abuse material right back to Booth's home in Prospect, Kentucky. They say the account even had selfie-style photos of Booth proving it was him. But one detail investigators found was particularly disturbing. Booth had allegedly been sending out images of children under 12 on at least 10 occasions. Before his arrest, Michael David Booth was known to hundreds of thousands of people online as Mr. Crafty Pants, the over-the-top, always cheerful crafter who made glitter, vinyl, and heat presses look like pure magic. His YouTube channel, launched in November of 2019, grew fast, more than 595,000 subscribers before it was taken down after his arrest. On Facebook, another 200,000 followers. Instagram, nearly 50,000 more. His tutorials were bright, enthusiastic, and heavy on catchphrases. One clip promotes what he called Craftmas, a mashup of crafts and Christmas, a holiday live stream that he appeared to host each year.
Everyone is freaking out about the Craftmas announcement. Now, a lot of y'all are asking, is this replacing what usually happens in November? And the answer to that is yes. So if you want to be a part of the best Craftmas ever, it is very important to be watching live Friday, July 25th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
I told y'all, don't trust these niggas with no facial hair. He can clearly grow it. He just chooses not to. It's weird. The booty face look is always weird.
Another video shows off his typical DIY how-to style, guiding viewers through an adhesive tutorial.
This is going to blow your mind. So this is Caesar Easy Weed Adhesive, which I'm actually cutting out right now on the StarCraft Solo. You could also use the Cricut. It's basically a clear adhesive in HTV form that we will use to attach down the StarCraft electrofoil. It's totally magic, but more on that in a second. I'm currently weeding it out with my pen, but here's a little hack for you. Use your Cricut Easy Press or Heat Press to heat up your matte or lower platen. Take your HTV with the sticky side facing up and rub that on the heat. It loosens up that adhesive and makes it so much easier to weed. Preheat your shirt for about 5 seconds, and I do have this set to 305 Fahrenheit. Use a cover sheet and tack this HTV down for about 5 seconds. You want to do a warm peel on this, and here comes the magic. Cover that Easy Weed adhesive with the StarCraft electrofoil. Don't forget that cover sheet, and we're going to give this thing plenty of pressure for 15 seconds at 305. Can't forget a little jiggle with it. Now this needs to be a completely cold peel. Pay no attention to what I'm using to cool this thing down with. Once it's cool, you rip it off like a Band-Aid. Oh, and all the materials are in the comments. Like and follow for the next one. Let's go.
In the final video he posted to Facebook on October 21st, he's unboxing a new crafting gadget. His voice is shaking with excitement.
Oh my gosh.
Really? That's what I'm saying. Ain't no straight man gonna get excited about unboxing no damn heat press or whatever the fuck. This is ridiculous. This nigga is shaking his hand. Man, look.
Is shaking with excitement.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Happiness is no mystery. It's
Really? Crying and shit.
hey now, this is what dreams are made.
Oh my God.
Hey now, this is what
Bruh.
dreams are made of.
I can't believe this is real.
Somewhere I belong.
What is this weird ass song playing in the background?
Okay.
The caption beneath the video reads, "What you're seeing isn't just another product, it's the result of endless research, all-nighters, hard lessons. Seeing it for the first time wrecked me in the best way possible." He went on to thank his fans and tease a launch tied to his annual Craftsmas Mega Mystery Box, writing, "You're not just getting a box, you're getting a piece of my heart, and maybe a few of my tears too." Comments flooded in, all supportive, full of congratulations and encouragement, just one day before police would arrest the man behind those cheerful videos. According to an arrest report obtained by Law and Crime, between August 5th and August 7th, a social media account on the messaging app Kik was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for distributing child sex abuse material. That account, authorities say, belonged to Booth. Before we get back to this episode of On the Case, I need to take a moment and thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of On the Case. We're talking about a free app.
These niggas
maybe picking up some. So why not
act
get
like technology in these days and times ain't
find
gonna
out how
tell
much?
on
Scan the
them.
QR code, cents back
Dumbass
for an extra
criminals.
search warrant on the account and back on your first gallon of gas. Police executed a search warrant on the account and confirmed the distribution of illicit material. The warrant included 2 selfie-type photos of Booth tying the account to him. A subpoena for the IP address used to send the files linked the activity directly to Booth's home in Prospect, Kentucky. The files themselves were limited in number, but troubling in content. The investigation found that there were allegedly 6 images in total, 3 depicting children under 12 and 3 showing teenagers. The under 12 images were reportedly shared at least 10 times, while the older children's images were distributed at least 15 times. The charges brought against Booth are severe. According to the arrest report, he faces 10 counts of distributing matter portraying sexual performance by a minor under the age of 12. 15 counts of distributing matter portraying sexual performance by a minor over 12 but under the age of 18. 3 counts of possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor under 12, and possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor over the age of 12 but under 18, his first offense. The news shook Booth's normally quiet neighborhood. People told reporters that they were stunned to see multiple police vehicles parked outside his house. Laura Nash, who lives across the street, described it as a gut punch, telling WAVE News, "It makes you feel really vulnerable. It's terrifying. As a mom, to hear about something like this, it just makes you realize that you're not safe anywhere." Another neighbor, Lindsay Smart, pointed to a Halloween yard sign that Booth had displayed. It read, "I smell children." She told media, quote, "You feel like you know your neighbors, but what goes on behind closed doors, I guess we never know. It's sickening, it's disgusting, and I'm so glad he got caught." Booth was arrested
Bro,
on Wednesday,
legend.
October 22nd, and taken into custody. He appeared in Jefferson County District Court the following day. He entered a plea of not guilty on all the charges, and he had his cash bond set at $100,000. The court also ordered that he have no contact with minors and no access to the internet, no social media, and no contact with minors while this case moves forward. His next court appearance is set for October 31st. Joining us now is Colonel Alex Payne, Chief Deputy of the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office. Thank you, sir, for taking the time, as always, to be with us here on Law and Crime.
Crazy.
When it comes to these investigations, just how is it that law enforcement, I mean, this one came in as a tip. I mean, how typically do you find out that this type of stuff is being shared online?
That's one way. You know, we operate in sort of a vacuum in cases like this. We depend primarily on the public, you know, to send us information on things that they encounter, or maybe they suspect something is going on, or, you know, they have information that they want to share as far as pictures, videos, things of that nature. Because historically, you know, we just don't have, in my opinion, enough people committed in my line of work to crimes against children via internet. It's something that we are growing towards, but so we depend a lot on the public to give us information that they come across while they're spending time with their electronic devices, and then they come across something that they believe may possibly be illegal, and they get us involved, and then we can take it from there.
What stands out to you about the suspect in this case?
He would say what I would say, that he's typical, probably a guy that hides, blends in. Like, for example, the community that he's from. You know, I live in Jefferson County. Norton Commons is a very nice, low-key area. People move into that area. One of the reasons they do is low crime, things of that nature. But this is the type of crime that, you know, you can't, it knows no boundaries. It's generated with our technology that we live with each and every day. And so it doesn't really matter the quality of your neighborhood, the safety of your so-called city streets really don't come into play here. You know, this is all over computers. And this guy, you know, where they have maybe one aura walking around day to day in their contact with people throughout their communities, but yet they've got a darker side that exists online, and he fits that mold.
How did people even find this stuff? I know, like, when people talk about certain apps, this one's on Kick, which I have never used myself or was aware of. You know, I think for a lot of people, we think of like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and it seems like in these cases that it's a whole different world of whether it's apps or parts of the internet. Like, where does this stuff, like, someone even come in contact with this type of stuff?
Yeah, and here's the bad thing, Chris. I mean, this stuff changes too all the time. I mean, it's just like this app. I have no idea, you know, what Kick is. And so
that's why he said we need y'all to tell in this small town.
Put more resources towards these things, because you have to have the ability to stay on top of it because of what we're talking about right now. How quickly it changes, how quickly they'll shift from one app to another. And we have to stay aware, you know, of that kind of movement and that kind of activity that goes on these things. But thank goodness, you know, there's still a lot of good, moral, upstanding people out there, and, you know, that use these apps for total righteous purposes, totally legal purposes, you know, for probably what they were meant to be used for. But yet you still will always come across those individuals who use it for, well, sick things like this.
Yeah, and it seems like from what law enforcement has said they have is not only the images themselves, apparently there are selfies that he took, so that'll tie you right to a crime for sure. And then the IP address also goes directly to his home. It seems like it's a pretty strong case that prosecutors could have against him. But what are some of the challenges that you've seen in investigations like this, in knowing that someone, you know, as an investigator, maybe you know this person has this material, but making sure there's that direct line that a prosecutor can use to get a conviction?
And there's where you get into the really technical side of this, being able to prove that this material actually came to this particular IP address, and then once it came to this particular IP address, it was distributed to other IP addresses. And so therein lies the technical side of these types of cases. And again, yet another example of why, I think, we need to develop our own, and most large agencies have them, in-house experts on things such as that.
And that was going to be my next question, because when it comes to law enforcement, I mean, you respond to murders, gun cases. Mm-hmm. In this case, very technical, very different. I mean, typically, what type of training do sheriff's offices, police departments have in being able to get that technical evidence that you're going to need in court in a case like this?
Right. The training's out there. It's not the training that's the issue. And those departments that work closely with our federal partners, have even access to more training and more folks that are on that expert level that we're talking about here that will help us help local agencies out with cases such as this. And thank goodness for them, because they're very, very capable people and willing to share their time and talents and services with local law enforcement. So a lot of it comes from the federal side.
I know he is facing several charges related to possessing this material, distributing this material. Mm-hmm. It seems that law enforcement knows how many times he distributed certain pieces of this material. What goes into what someone faces as far as the charges in a case like this?
Well, here, it will vary. These investigators will get with local prosecutors as far as, the degree of seriousness of these crimes, depending upon, what they've got there with those images and the material that they have. The prosecutor will then look at all of this material, look at the case as a whole, the strength of the case as the whole, and come forth with whatever charges they believe that they can successfully prosecute. And we'll find out, here pretty soon, in this case, just because I'm sure it's probably not the end of it, because each of those IP addresses that you're talking about, you're reaching out to somebody else who's now receiving these things. And so, it's just like a spider web. These things will branch out and branch out.
And it's really sad and disturbing to think about, but we don't know who the children are in these images. We know that he possessed them. Yep. Don't know if he didn't see anything about as far as he was the person who took the images, but how do you go about finding who these children are and where this stuff originated from? Yeah,
that's part of the complicated nature of these particular cases involving electronic crimes. And, hopefully they've got information that will lead us, or law enforcement, to identify who these potential victims are. And, it's sad, this age that we live in, there are so many advantages to having this modern technology. It's just like cell phones or computers. When you think of those things and your children, we allow them to have it because it opens up the world.
Look at this
to
man,
our kids.
office.
But there's the double-edged sword side of that. It also opens up our kids to the world. And so that's why I think we as parents, we as we really got to keep an eye on what our children are consuming. And simply for these reasons, I'm hoping they can identify who these victims are, but again, that's going to be difficult.
What's the punishment for the charges that he's facing in this? I know I have them here. He's facing 10 counts of distributing material, portraying sexual performance by a minor under the age of 12, 15 counts of distributing matter portraying sexual performance by a minor over the age of 12 but under 18, 3 counts of possession for a minor under 12, and then he's facing 1 count of possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor over the age of 12 but under 18. That's his first offense. What type of punishment could he be looking at?
He's looking at a lot. I would literally have to go ahead and grab the old Kentucky Revised Statutes and look at the elements and punishments for those things. But I can definitely promise you, just from being in this line of work as long as I have, he's looking at a lot of time.
And I know this is more, I think, for a district attorney, but seeing that it seems like they have him. I mean, they have the selfie, they have the IP address. There's really, what happens now in terms of I can't. I mean, maybe he takes it to trial and tries his best. I don't know, but I mean, for this point, if you have him and you're looking for other people who potentially could be in some sort of ring, how do you use the evidence that you have against him to try and get someone else?
Well, it depends, on like one of the things. Hopefully, the guy has someone
them
of
to
a
give their
conscience
tips
left,
away,
and
which
maybe
they
he
wouldn't
talks
do.
to investigators, and maybe he has knowledge of who these other folks are. But he may know code names and things like that. So it's kind of hard, from that perspective to figure out. They may just have to follow the trails electronically and go that way. But it can become very complicated. But we have the technology, we have the people that have the expertise in this to track it down. And again, this doesn't change anything as far as the law enforcement standpoint. These investigators will know their case inside and out, and they will be the best witnesses for their case that they could possibly be. It'll be up to them to work with the prosecution to get that successful conviction.
How common is it, because he is just accused at this point, I say just, but possessing and receiving this type of material? What happens now? I mean, how common is it for someone who possesses this material to have actually taken part in potential explicit activities with someone who is underage?
Well, from the training that I can say that I personally have received in this area, it's almost like a progression with these folks. In the vast majority of the time, at least this is what I've been taught. They'll start, usually at a small scale and then work their way up. And as they get to a certain point, there's a very large percentage of them that once they reach that point have participated in the gross things that we're talking about today. And that's a sad commentary on our society, to say the least. But that's what I've been taught.
Well, and I also think, too, just from a law enforcement standpoint, because this suspect, he was someone who was really popular online, had this very bubbly personality in terms of what he was probably making off the social media platforms, was having, earning a good living. And now his world is over, all likelihood. He's going to head to jail on some serious charges. For law enforcement, when you're going to arrest somebody like this, knowing that you're dealing with a person who probably will realize in those moments that you're busting through the door, if that's how this went down, I mean, how do you prepare for this type of arrest, knowing that this is someone with no criminal record, and they could be in that moment of this is, I don't know if he was armed, but just the dangers surrounding taking down someone like this?
Yeah, I'm not going to really talk about the tactics in particular. I really don't want to give anything away, but the mindset is the same.
They've been telling you to give
safety
away
first.
tactics
And
the
so
last
based
15
upon
minutes.
intelligence gathering that we'll do on these individuals, part of that being their criminal history, if they have any tendency toward violence, things of that nature, we'll usually put together what we refer to as a matrix. A particular score on that matrix will determine how we execute that particular arrest warrant. And so if the matrix score is very high, we'll go in with a greater degree of caution. If the matrix score is fairly low, it may be just a couple of plainclothes detectives just knocking on the door and saying hello, and a lot of times, fortunately, that's how it ends. They'll get a knock at the door, they go, they not really expecting anything, they come, they answer the door, they identify themselves, and it's over right there.
Yeah, that definitely just a very sad situation, very disturbing to see someone who portrayed themselves as so, warm and friendly, and then it was really anything but when you think of what he's accused of. Of course, innocent until proven guilty. We'll see how the court case plays out. Colonel Alex Payne, it is always great to have you on Law and Crime. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, sir. No problem. Have a good day.
That will do it for On the Case,
There's
presented
one more
by Law and Crime.
follow-up on
Subscribe
this
to us on
dude
YouTube and
here.
Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.
Good morning. For the record, I'm William Butler. I represent Michael Booth. He's right here beside me.
This YouTube star, once known as Mr. Crafty Pants, the glitter-loving DIY influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers, is now in some hot water, to say the least. Today, he sat in a Kentucky courtroom facing more than 24 criminal charges for possession and distribution of child sex abuse material. And the latest hearing just raised new questions about what comes next for the YouTube personality. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Before we dive into this episode of On the Case, very shocking, disturbing story out of Kentucky involving a man who so many people watched on YouTube just trying to learn how to do crafts better. I do need to talk about our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, America's 1,000.
Them folks that got slick. They put their commercials
So
at
easy
the
to
beginning.
claim on your screen. Today, for the first time, we saw the YouTube personality, that person who had the smile on his face, who brought joy to a lot of people on the internet in a much different kind of light. We saw him in court for the first time as a defendant in a case where he is accused of possessing and sharing child sex abuse material. We're talking about a man who on YouTube went by Mr. Crafty Pants. Now, this case is far from over.
Good morning. For the record,
Man, that man lawyer, her white as cotton. It looked like a serial killer. But it's, hey man, this nigga, why this nigga lawyer look like Mr. Burns off The Simpsons? This man got the oldest possible lawyer he could find in his city. What the fuck?
good morning. For the record, I'm William Butler. I represent Michael. He's
William Butler of the Butler Law Firm. They've been practicing law for the past 300 centuries.
Mr. Crafty Pants in real life is 39-year-old Michael David Booth. He is accused of distributing and possessing child sex abuse material. Investigators say the cheerful DIY influencer's online persona hid something far darker. According to authorities, they say they traced images of minors shared on a messaging app straight to his Prospect, Kentucky home. The hearing raises new questions about Booth's.
That just lets you know how good he is. He is still able to get work at 97 years old. Niggas is still hiring him to beat cases for them.
Next steps in court and what could happen as this shocking case moves forward. But to understand why this hearing matters, we need to look back at this case against Michael David Booth. Now again, he is known online as Mr. Crafty Pants. He was once a cheerful, glitter-loving DIY influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers, not just on YouTube, but on Facebook and on Instagram. His tutorials on t-shirts, cards, home decor really made him a beloved figure in the crafting community. But behind that friendly persona, police say Booth was allegedly involved in something far darker. In early August, authorities traced a social media account on the messaging app Kik distributing child sex abuse material, and they traced it straight back to Booth's home. That home is in Prospect, Kentucky. Investigators say the account contained 6 images, 3 depicting children under 12, shared at least 10 times, and 3 showing teenagers shared at least 15 times. 2 selfie-style photos tied Booth to the account. On October 22nd, Booth was arrested and charged with 10 counts of distributing matter portraying sexual performance by a minor under 12, 15 counts of distributing matter portraying sexual performance by a minor over 12 but under 18, and 3 counts of possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor under 12. And then 1 count of possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor over.
Hey man, Prospect, Kentucky. The population of Prospect, Kentucky is around 4,518 to 4,624 dollars. I mean people, not I said dollars, but the median household income is $173,528. So It's a whole bunch of rich motherfuckers that stay there, but it's only like 4,600 of them.
Over 12, but under 18. So you can see there are a lot of counts we're dealing with here. In fact, there are 25 in total. Booth appeared in Jefferson County District Court the next day. He entered a not guilty plea to those charges, and he was released on a $100,000 cash bond with strict conditions: no contact with minors and no access to the internet or social media. Today, Booth returned to court for a preliminary hearing before Jefferson District Court Judge Amber Wolf. Here's what happened.
Case number 32, Michael Booth.
All right, Mr. Booth, this is what you just told me here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. For the record, I'm William Butler. I represent Michael Booth. He's right here beside me.
All right. And it says here that you all are agreeing to waive the probable cause hearing and send this case to the grand jury for the week of, it says 11/24, although the grand jury week is 12/1. Is that a special week?
And Your Honor, we're gonna
Yes, you're good. Okay.
we're gonna withdraw our request to for a hearing over the bond.
This is gonna be the last case he ever
Bond will remain
does.
the same. This case will be sent to the grand jury for the week of December the 1st.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Booth and his attorney waived a separate probable cause hearing, which is typically used to determine whether there's enough evidence to move forward with a case. Instead, the matter will go directly to a grand jury for review. The judge also confirmed that Booth's existing $100,000 cash bond will stay in place, meaning he remains out of jail under the same conditions while this case proceeds toward a grand jury review the week of December 1st. Joining us now to talk more about this is criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor and partner with Zealous Advocates, Jeremy Eldridge. Always great to have you on Law and Crime. Thanks for being with us to talk about this. Is a disturbing case, and it involves someone who, to hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube, was kind of a celebrity. When it comes to these cases, before we get into specifically what he's accused of, just what stands out to you about this suspect who went by Mr. Crafty Pants on YouTube, and he made good money doing it, it seems.
What stands out to me the most is whenever you see an individual that's charged, and a lot of these people are middle class or upper middle class, they hold good jobs with military, policemen, firefighters, upstanding people in the community, and that is the first thing that comes to a surprise to people. But what stands out about Mr. Booth's case is that when you have somebody that works with children, when you have somebody that their target audience on YouTube is children, when you have somebody whose Halloween signs outside of their house say, "I smell children," that it makes it even more troubling, because then you start wondering, was it just photography? Was it just videos that you were interested, or have you had face-to-face interaction with children, and are you a child sexual predator? And it always begs that question when you're talking about someone who's charged with child pornography and then also has employment or is interested in working with children.
Because I think from the stories that are, the cases you've worked, the stories I've covered, at this point we both know the idea of saying, like, it's the last person you would ever expect. So often we see it's people who might be a leader in the community. In this case, he was someone who was kind of this cheerful guy as a public persona, but then behind closed doors, allegedly it was very, very concerning. Today in the court case, and he's facing several charges, the judge and the court decides that this is going to move forward to a grand jury. I know each state is different, this one taking place in Kentucky, but what does this mean about where this case is headed?
What's happening is really routine procedure. When you're talking about somebody that is charged with a variety of felonies, what happens is that in some states we would call it being set in for a preliminary hearing or being forwarded to a grand jury. What that means is that a grand jury is a group of people, usually between 30 and 60 people, and those individuals hear felony cases and decide whether there is sufficient evidence or probable cause to forward the case to the next highest court. Meaning, is there enough evidence to believe? And it's a very low standard. Probable cause is essentially a more likely than not standard at this point. It's certainly not beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the standard for most criminal trial courts. And so here, the state's attorney or the DA is allowing the grand jury to make that decision, to hear probably the police report, which would be sufficient. A detective may get on the stand and read it to the members of the grand jury, and then they'll say, yes, we believe that there's sufficient evidence for the case to move forward, meaning the felonies to move forward. And that will simply help the case progress and for the felonies to continue in the process. It doesn't mean he's guilty. It doesn't mean he's going to jail. It simply means that there's enough evidence to substantiate the felonies that he's been charged with.
I'm not sure what his financial situation is, but is being held on $100,000 cash bond. What does that mean about how much he would actually have to? Is it $100,000 he would have to put down to be able to get out of jail?
It's a great question. The judge would have had two choices in imposing a cash bond. One is a cash-only bond, meaning that someone would have to go to the court and literally bring a cashier's check or something for $100,000, and that would suffice. And there's what's called corporate surety, which is what we would typically call a bail bondsman, where a bondsman can go put down 10%, for instance, and then that would suffice to allow the individual to be out. And then obviously if the person fails to appear in court, the bondsman catches up with them. Here, it appears as though it is what was typically referred to as a cash-only bond.
This case, it's taking place in Kentucky. He's facing state charges right now, but I mean, this is these images were shared on the internet. Who knows who was on the receiving end of them? How likely is it that the federal government could get involved in a case like this?
Oftentimes, whether the federal government gets involved is a matter of leverage in negotiating. Having handled a lot of these cases in Maryland and in federal courts, what ends up happening is that the state prosecutor is going to make a plea offer at some point. And if that individual accepts the plea offer, the case can resolve in state court. But a lot of the times when state defendants do not accept plea agreements, the state's attorney's office prosecutor can say, look, then not a problem. We'll send it to federal court. And the fear there is palpable. The fear there is that the penalties are stiffer. There are mandatory minimums for child cases like this of 5-year mandatory minimums, meaning 60 months. And that's where the sentences start in federal court potentially. And so there's a lot of leverage that DAs have to say, if you don't want to resolve the case here, we'll send you to federal court. And there aren't a lot of types of cases where that interplay occurs. In fact, child pornography cases are one of the few types of cases where prosecutors will threaten federal prosecution, assuming they have that good partnership with the U.S. Attorney's Office in that jurisdiction.
And in this case, he's pleaded not guilty, and I know that that's procedural in a lot of ways. No one's going to plead guilty right out of the gate. But it does seem like prosecutors have some pretty strong evidence against him. Not only that he shared these images, they apparently have selfies that just prove it's him. I mean, that's almost a smoking gun. What is the defense that you see in a lot of these cases for someone where prosecutors can say, this was your IP address, you shared these specific images, and by the way, we have a selfie of you related to these images that seems to just lock in the fact that it was him sending these?
Most of the time when you have criminal defendants that want to take these cases to trial, their arguments seem to revolve around what they're saying is access to that device, to say this is a laptop that multiple people within the residence use, or this is a cell phone that multiple people within the residence use. Recently, I've represented a gentleman who was an older gentleman. He got a new cell phone. His older cell phone was given to another member of the family who resided in the same residence. They were both on the same Wi-Fi. There's an IP hit to that residence. And when the police arrive, there's a question as to who's the one using that device. And so most of the time, it's really a matter of access to the device. It's not a matter of whether that's individual. So to your point about if they have a selfie, that's going to be something that's going to make it more difficult. And to further that point, one of the other issues in Kentucky is there's a rebuttable presumption in Kentucky that if you're in possession of child pornography, that you intend to distribute it. Now, it's a rebuttable presumption, so if he goes to trial, he could certainly produce evidence to say, this was for my gratification, it was not necessarily for distribution, but that's not a great place to be if you're a criminal defendant in trial court.
I know he's accused of distributing the images, I think it's 6 times. That'd be disturbing if someone had an image and distributed it one time. In these cases, how does the number of times that someone is accused of distributing it impact the type of charges that they're facing?
Yeah, once again, great question, because that supposedly was from his Kik account. And the one thing about the Kik account is you have to assume that it was intentional sharing. And the reason I bring that up is there are a lot of cases charged across the United States for passive sharing. You download a BitTorrent in your home, whether it, BitTorrents work in a way that it's passive sharing. So you're trying to download a movie, for instance, the new Mission Impossible movie, and everyone else has it, and it allows you to download it faster. It's the point of a torrent. Well, I've seen people with child pornography cases that go, I didn't intend to share this. I downloaded it. Yes, I had the material, but I didn't intend to share it. And in passive sharing cases, frankly, it's not a defense, but a lot of people think, well, I didn't intend to share it, not understanding how a torrent works. With this Kick app, however, it appears as though this was intentional sharing. It was him potentially sending this to other people. And there's a difference because prosecutors view those cases differently. They really do, because prosecutors understand the difference between intentional sharing and passive sharing, depending on the platform utilized in order to share this material.
How do prosecutors and law enforcement kind of tap into this world? Because it does seem where this stuff is being shared. It's not Facebook and Instagram. You know, it's not the surface level
same
stuff
questions
that most
he
people
asked
on the
the
internet
damn
has.
sheriff.
It's in a deep part of the internet, or maybe it isn't, but just a part of the internet that most people typically aren't on. How do you get access to it to figure out who is sharing this stuff?
First off, you're actually, they get alerts from Google, they get alerts from Microsoft. You'd be surprised. Some people go in and make zero effort. They treat it like they're watching regular pornography or that they're looking for ESPN. And that's how they get caught, because some of your web browsers will immediately alert law enforcement. But to your point, which is the more nefarious and the more common conduct, that's dark web stuff. There are some non-governmental organizations that do, whether it is, obviously, if you're not a governmental entity, you're maybe not beholden to the Constitution, maybe an invasion of privacy. If I were to say that it was an infringement, I say that because there are some organizations that monitor people's devices and will reach out to law enforcement and say, hey, this is what we've seen. This is the kind of traffic we're seeing. Or people that comb the dark web that are trying to hunt people like this and will turn them over to law enforcement. And so you do get a fair number of anonymous tips. But I would say the lion's share of these honestly come from internet providers. Comcast, Verizon, they have systems that are built in to detect this traffic. And then they'll alert law enforcement. Law enforcement will get a court order for the IP address. Who owns that IP? Detectives then go to the residence, interview people. A lot of people may have never, especially first-time offenders, don't know any better or think, I'm supposed to cooperate with law enforcement. They immediately make admissions, they turn their devices over, and then their cases are essentially indefensible. And an attorney like me is simply trying to get maybe the best result for them, which is treatment to make them not recidivate and potentially lessen whatever sentence they're facing by trying to organize a good guilty plea. But a lot of it is getting somebody into treatment, figuring out why it's happening. And just to say this, a lot of individuals that are engaged in this behavior come from situations where they experience a lot of trauma. They were victims of child sexual abuse. There's a lot of literature out there to suggest why people engage in that behavior. Not that it's all excusable, but it does help explain the human behavior.
No, and I think that's a good point. And just thinking of what the defense could be when you get to a sentencing portion, can you tell a story that a judge or a jury might find somewhat sympathetic? When it comes to finding who he was sharing it with, and gosh, who the children are in the images, what is the process, whether it's a prosecutor's office doing the investigating, a law enforcement agency? You have this person here, and if he's guilty, Michael David Booth, of possessing this material, how do you find out where it came from, who's in the video, and where it was going?
Some of that would also come down to whether he would choose to cooperate with law enforcement and share that information. A lot of the time in these cases, the individuals don't necessarily know the identities of the individuals they're sharing them with, but they might be part of a group of individuals that have agreed to share this sort of material for all of their collective benefit. And so even if they wanted to say who it was, a lot of the time they can't provide that identity, and law enforcement may track the other individual's IP. But with the advent of technology to mask IPs or to offer other layers of protection, a lot of the individuals engaging this behavior are not unintelligent. So they've tried to put together precautionary measures to protect themselves from being discovered by law enforcement. So it really is difficult to figure out who this material is sent to. In fact, in handling hundreds of these cases, in my time as a defense attorney, which is almost 20 years, I can only count a handful of times where law enforcement, outside of arresting the individual who they believed was in possession and or distributing, were able to figure out who else they were distributing it to just because of how it's shared on the dark web.
Assuming that he's indicted by a grand jury on December 1st, and assuming that all this evidence is true, that they have a selfie of him, they have the IP address, they have the intent that he was sharing it. If prosecutors have a really strong case, I mean, how soon could a defense attorney, if he's willing to cooperate, make the phone call that they're looking for a deal? How does that process work?
Almost immediately. If he actually has information to share, almost immediately. If he's part of a ring of other men and women that are manufacturing and distributing child pornography, if he knows of other individuals that he's sharing this material with and he sought to cooperate, he could certainly walk himself into a greatly reduced sentence. There's a lot of creativity when it comes to being a defense attorney and being a prosecutor. If you think somebody could be helpful to you, you could talk about felonies versus misdemeanors. You could talk about sentence structure, meaning jail versus probation or jail, home detention, and probation. But undeniably, there's a very high likelihood that he'll end up being on the sex offense registry, and then depending on what charge he's either found guilty of or admits to, would determine the length of his time on the sex offense registry.
And then when the grand jury hears this case, could the grand jury decide whether there are more charges that he could face, or is it going to be set at the dozens that he's facing? I think it's 25 total that he's facing right now.
No, it's more likely that the DA will select a group of charges that they find to be appropriate. They will present those charges and then a copy of the police report or limited testimony through a detective to the grand jury, and the grand jury will decide if those charges work. If prosecutors decide after, for instance, they have what they have now. Let's say that they're still downloading cell phones or they're still downloading other devices through a program called Celebrite, and they discover that there are more images. They find that there's more criminal or nefarious behavior. They're certainly welcome in the future because a lot of states don't have statute of limitations on felonies, and it's so early that they would have more than sufficient time to issue what's called a superseding indictment and add other charges. But that's well within the discretion of the prosecutor.
All right, we'll see what happens next to Michael David Booth. December 1st, the grand jury will hear his case. Jeremy Eldridge, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and partner with Zealous Advocates. Thank you, sir, for being with us. It's always great to have you on Law and Crime.
Thank you for having me on.
This case is now set to go before a grand jury the week of December 1st, where prosecutors will present evidence to determine whether Booth will face formal indictments on the more than 24 charges of possession and distribution of child sexual abuse material. That will do it.
All right, y'all. That's all I got for now. To the next episode. Little channel, big voice. We out. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the tidbit. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old, it's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coded. Memphis niggas spit this pippin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Say hi, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Hoppin', cookin', whippin', shippin', till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hatin', but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we don't eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it burn it, don't speak. Pour up, I need some more. A nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm true geek, walking by myself but left with 2 freaks. Ooh wee, nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches, this some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island, cause I like my number choosy. When we link, it's a movie. She bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me. I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island, cause I love my lover choose it. When we link, it's a movie. She bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me. I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Biscuit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Biscuit.